Hi there, this is Legal Aids with Evans Ofeli, and we shall be discussing a very sensitive and important topic in law today. I will take a short break, and when we return, we'll unveil the topic for today. Stay tuned, don't touch that dial. Today, we shall be discussing how to buy land without tears. Land is a critical asset that is very important to the existence of man, and it is a desire of every man to acquire a piece of land, for the purposes of habitation or for business. So how do you then purchase land in order not to get into trouble or join forces with other persons who are already into trouble in the same trouble? You have to be careful when you have to buy land. Cities of high density and population like Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, and the rest of it. Generally speaking, to purchase land, you must do certain important things, one of which is to ensure that you make proper inquiries. You must involve a lawyer if you must purchase a land that is free of troubles and encumbrances in it. So the first thing you must do is to engage a lawyer and a surveyor. A surveyor will help you to do what we call mapping or charting to find out whether the land is under acquisition or not. Okay, a lawyer may not be able to determine that from the spot, whether the piece of land is under acquisition or not, but a surveyor have the capacity by training to map or chart the piece of land to find out whether or not such land is under acquisition. So once you cross that threshold, the next thing is for the lawyer to do proper inquiries of the land to ensure that the vendor have title as he claimed and that he have capacity to transfer title to the purchaser. Okay, so your lawyer will know how to go about it, and you must engage him to that effect. And then once that is properly done, you move on to the next step of the game, and that is to determine whether you are going to purchase outrightly or you are going to make a deposit or part payment in the purchase of the land. If you are paying outrightly, okay, you need to ensure that you are given a deed of assignment and a receipt of purchase. Is very important. The receipt of purchase does not confer title to land, okay, on the purchaser. You have to know that a receipt of purchase is just an evidence that you paid for a land, but title has not passed to you. For title to pass to you, a deed of assignment is required in the case where you are making outright payments. In the case where you are making part payment, okay, in the case where you are making part payment, you will request for a contract of sale. A contract of sale is the document that states clearly the address of the land, the kind of land, the size, okay, location, and state how much you are paying and how you intend to pay the balance, okay, how you intend to spread the other part. So that the essence of the contract of sale is so that the vendor, okay, after collecting part payment or deposit from you, will not be able to sell to a third party because there's a contract that exists between you. And a lot of people go out there, they purchase land, they don't even ask for a deed of assignment. They just purchase land and they are given receipt and they believe they've purchased. Okay, and they go about saying they have a land somewhere. You don't really have any land anywhere. What you have is just a piece of paper with you. Title has not been conferred on you. The vendor still have within him what they call title. The only point when he will divest himself of title is when you have a deed of assignment. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue this. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It is Legal Aids with Evans Ufeli on Enterprise TV. We're talking today about how to purchase land without tears. Land is a very critical asset that is required by individuals for the purposes of habitation or business. It is important that you know exactly what you are going into when you want to purchase a piece of land. There are a lot of fraudulent persons out there. That is why you need the services of a lawyer who will guide you through the process. Don't say lawyers are expensive, okay? You can actually get a moderately charged lawyer to help you through the process. And this process is very critical because it requires professionalism for you to have the right, a worthwhile experience in the whole thing. Now, I talked about the fact that you need to investigate title. Your lawyer needs to do that. The surveyor will have to chat to help you uncover whether or not the property is under acquisition, government acquisition, and when you finally get through that threshold and your lawyer has investigated title and he has discovered that the vendor have authority to sell, to you, then he will go further to, ask for that you make the payment and sign a deed of assignment, or if you are paying part payment, you have a contract of sale. A contract of sale will capture the money you are paying, the location of the land, the address. Same as a deed of assignment. It will capture the parties involved, the address of parties, the date of the transaction, and all necessary data and information that's required. Will capture all that. Okay, so when you get through all that stage I've talked about, we now go to the stage of perfection of title. Perfection of title, if you are buying from a family, okay, and the land you are purchasing does not have a CFO. A CFO is called Certificate of Occupancy, which is actually issued by the governor of a state, because by virtue of the Land Use Act, the governor of the state is the one who administers land. He holds all the land in the state in trust for the citizens of the state. So it is important you know that you need to make sure that you have clarity of mind and purpose when you are going into any land transaction. So if the land have a deed of assignment, what you will therefore do is what we call, if you have a deed of assignment, what you will do is what we call governor's consent. So in governor's consent is what you will know, because you need the governor's consent to transfer title to a third party, because already there's an existing certificate of occupancy. But if the land have no certificate of occupancy, it means that you need to get that deed of assignment directly and use deed of assignment to apply for a certificate of occupancy. That's what we call perfection in law. You perfected your document when you have gotten the necessary legal requirement, because without a C of O, your interest in that land is equitable. I will call it equitable title. But when you have a C of O, you now have a legal title. Okay, so it is the desire of everyone to transit from equitable title to, what we call a legal title. And that is very critical. We have a lot of matters in court today because people aren't diligent enough when they want to purchase land. Sometimes they don't even involve a lawyer at all. Sometimes the purchaser, and the vendor are both illiterates, parties that know nothing about the law. So at the end of the day, they employ touts, and when dispute arises, they fling themselves into self-help, and that is not what is required. We need to understand what we must do in the case under reference. So you have to register the title, you have to pay stamp duty based on the specification of the state, and acquire a C of O. If you don't want to get the C of O immediately for lack of funds or whatsoever reason, you can actually register the title in preparation for the C of O. You will be said to have acquired a land in a way that is required by law, okay? And one thing about land we also need to understand is that you can, if you don't follow through the process, you can easily get it wrong, okay? So you need to ensure that you have the right kind of guidance, the professional guidance, to ensure that whatever you are purchasing is legal, is clean, is not of fraudulent influence and all that. So you get to do exactly what you need to do. When you purchase a land, whether in a rural area or in the city nerve center, and you have done all this, please move into possession.
Enterprise TV, your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.